Boom. All right, welcome in everybody. Episode 10. Can you guys believe it? Double digits. We said we were going to run this shit up. So if you guys didn't believe us, episode 10. Welcome in. Today is Wednesday, October 6th here. And I was thinking about it this morning getting out of bed, and tell me if you're thinking about the same thing, Pri. It's becoming that time of year where it's getting a little colder. The sun's getting up a little later. It's a little
hmm
harder to get up in the morning, right? It definitely is. I could feel it. When that sun it's not already up when I'm trying to get up, it's a lot harder to get up. But hey, this is that time of year for you people to get ahead and hustle hard. It is going to be colder for people. They don't want to go to work. It's too cold. They don't, when they come home, they want chocolate milk and they want to cuddle up next to the
Yeah,
fire.
yeah.
This is your time to put the pedal down and get to work. So, you know, if you want to get ahead, we have some options and we have some plays available for you. So, if you're not already in the Taylor's Code, I don't know what you're waiting for, right? We've been preaching this every week now. Get involved, just get in there for the sense of community at the least. Once you get in there and you see what people are doing on the day to day, you see the hustlers that are inside doing crypto plays, doing e-commerce, and it's going to give you that self motivation too to get through the winter, get through the coldness. So it's something to do, right? Build a skill while you're sitting inside this winter doing nothing. All
hmm
right. So if at the very least you don't want to learn a skill, do anything, just get in there for the network and start meeting new people and start getting involved with different stuff that you're not used to. But
Right.
other than that, Gentleman's Code, episode 10. Good morning, Priamo.
Good morning, Bobby. The best thing about doing these sorts of things, this is what you guys hopefully are striving for in life, is I enjoy getting up and doing this. I actually look forward to it because, like Bobby was saying on the podcast before, it's a recap of the week previous, and we get an opportunity to actually express our ideas. What are we talking about? What are we learning? What are we working to do to make some money? It's it's something to be excited about, something to look forward to. Too many times people spend their entire life, I mean, I would say most people spend their entire life doing things that they don't really enjoy doing and with people that they don't really enjoy being around, right? So, yeah, it's just good to get back on here, give the people some juice, and then talk about the things that we've been seeing in all realms of life, whether it's being a gentleman, whether it's the markets, whether it's, fitness, politics, whatever it is that we're seeing right now. Let's talk about it. So, you were saying about coming up on the winter time while people aren't wanting to get out of bed, aren't wanting to hustle, etc. This is the best time of the year for hustlers because it is holiday season. It is spend time with the family season. It is cuddle up with your girlfriend and watch Netflix all day and watch Christmas movies and Halloween and dressing up and all this bullshit as opposed to working. This is that time of the year where people start relaxing, you're getting to the finish line, you start coasting. If you're looking for an edge, these are the times that you want to get that edge. This is the time of the year that Bitcoin starts pumping. This is the time of the year that markets start sending into price discovery. This is the time of the year that you can get rich off of crypto. Like this is the opportunity for you to actually lock in while everybody else is chilling, not paying attention, eyes are closed, ears are shut, and you can go ahead and make some money and get ahead. So yeah, I'm excited as fuck. I love the winter time. I love when people start relaxing because then that's how we can get ahead.
It's that DJ Khaled quote, working all winter, shining all summer. And it starts right now, it's coming. Like I said, it's getting cold and people aren't going to be like everything you just said is completely true. So if you take the time now to work on your body in the winter, no one's going outside to the beach now, it's getting too cold. No one's doing all that. So get in the
Mm-hmm.
gym, do your sit-ups, do your push-ups, get the
Mm-hmm.
body right, get the body tight. So
Mm-hmm.
when next spring comes around, you got a little dough in your pocket and you got a good looking bod, you go to the beach and you're feeling good about yourself. So it all starts right now, though. If you want to have that good beach bod and some change in your pocket for June of next year, starts right now. So
Yeah.
super, super important to get going.
And that shows. I mean, that gives an opportunity to talk about preparation because you can't start preparing for something once it's already here, right? People say, "Oh, I got to get my beach ball ready in springtime." Well, if you want to be a consummate professional and be fit and look good all year round, or look good during the springtime or the summertime, whenever you're going to be having your shirt off, that starts, like you said, right now in October, in November, in December. This is when you need to start working on it. You don't say, "Oh, it's wintertime. Let me just let my body go because I'm not going to be taking my shirt off." No, that's not the reason you go to the gym or and get fit. The reason you go to the gym and get fit is so that you have the discipline and the attitude and the mindset to actually do difficult things on a consistent basis. It's not even really for the body. So yeah, you got to protect. You got to take care of your body right now. You got to take care of your business, take care of your money, everything is preparation. Same thing with the bull run in crypto. So we're coming into Q4, which historically is the best time to hold Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin has provided the most returns historically during Q4. This is when Bitcoin typically cracks off. And people will see what happens to Bitcoin by the end of this quarter. So it'll be towards $100,000, $120,000. And you'll see all these people who aren't in cryptocurrency. We were actually just talking about one of the friends you were talking to, where they're going to see what's happening in terms of price discovery, Bitcoin cracking off, and they're going to want to start jumping into the market in Q4 or towards the end of Q4. When in reality, if you haven't saved up money to that point, if you haven't built up an income at that point, if you haven't actually put yourself in a position to understand the markets at that point, you're not going to be able to take advantage of the opportunity that's actually arising, right? Preparation happened when me and Bobby were doing this for the past 6-7 months, looking at the markets, understanding what was going to happen, investing in coins, getting lessons, learning from people who know more than us in this industry. Like, that's where the preparation happened. You got to do that shit before the opportunity actually arises. Otherwise, you can't capitalize on it.
Yeah, 100%. And going off of terms of preparation, um, scaling your preparation is super important. So Priamo touched on our preparation in terms of cryptocurrency, right? That was a longer vision. That was like we're preparing ourselves for Q4 back in April, May, June, right? Is when I really started taking a look at it. And I'm like, okay, I got to get my funds in there and I got to start diversifying what I want to go on this bull run. But in terms of the weekly, the daily preparation, like this live stream, for instance, it didn't just start this morning, right? I was on here last night getting prepped for this morning, right? So every
Mm-hmm.
single day, you got to think about what's important to you tomorrow, your most important goals, stack them from top to bottom, and how are you going to prepare to attack those? For me, today, this is one of the most important things, and then the gym. So right after I'm done with this, I'll go to the gym, and then boom, my two most important things are already done. And then I could get into whatever else it is. So preparation is super important in terms of the gym, preparing for meals, getting your food prepped for the week, eating healthy, what you're going to eat all week is super important as well.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of cryptocurrency, we put the money in and now the time has come to kind of let it work for itself. We don't have to do too much. We're just going to change our strategies here and there. We'll talk through some stuff, but nothing majorly overhauled because we've
Right.
positioned ourselves to where we want to be and
Mm-hmm.
now we're gonna let it rip to Mars. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because and as you're saying that, I keep thinking about how important of a point that is, and I want to keep touching upon it. That you can't get ready for something when it's already here, and that's the problem that too many people run into, and why they miss out on opportunities is because by the time they're presented with the opportunity, they're not in a position where they can capitalize on it, right? So, for example, let's say you get this fantastic investment opportunity. Somebody wants to cut you in on a deal to be able to buy a 100-unit apartment complex. For whatever reason, you're friends with somebody who's in real estate. Boom, they need an extra investor. He offers you the opportunity to get 25%, 30%, 50% equity, right? Fantastic opportunity. Let's say you're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in revenue from this property. Guy comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to cut you in the deal, but obviously you got to put up $250,000, $500,000." You had the opportunity. You got lucky. You had the situation where you could actually capitalize on something. But guess what? You just didn't put yourself in a position to have the $500,000 to invest. So now you miss out on the opportunity. So, and this happens in smaller ways in your life all the time, where you'll get presented with these opportunities and you're actually a lot luckier than you think you are. People like to pretend like they're not lucky and they don't ever get opportunity. I'm sure that there is opportunity that you've been presented with. You just never put yourself in a situation to be prepared for that blessing, right? You're just not prepared for it. And this is why you can't operate off of emotions and you can't operate off of motivation. When you wake up every single day and you work and you hustle and you try to make money and you try to build your businesses, you have to understand that that consistency and discipline over time is what's going to make you capable of taking on opportunities in the future. Even though you don't know what that next business deal is going to be, even though you don't know what that next investment's going to be, you have to be working right now as if it's going to be here tomorrow, right? You've got to be putting money into your bank account, putting money into your pocket so that you can take advantage of that opportunity you don't even know about right now. There's an opportunity coming right now in 6 months that you don't even know exists. But if you're not in the situation where you can take advantage of that, you're going to completely miss it. And that could have been your chance to get out. That's just like the crypto market right now. This is your chance to get out.
That's such a good point, and I feel like I see that all the time. And you hear success stories about people. It's like, oh, I met this guy, and he gave me this opportunity, and then boom, these people go on to make millions or get their dream job or be an actor or whatever it is. It's just by meeting the right people that give them an opportunity. And sometimes, if you meet somebody in the street, a stranger, and it's like, oh, well, I don't even know that guy. But like you said, it could be a blessing in disguise. Some people are just genuinely nice and they want to help you and they want to give out opportunities. I've seen it. I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
you've seen it. Just random people that that are super wealthy that, you wouldn't even think were super wealthy and rich, but they have these opportunities that people don't even think about. So that's a great point. I totally agree. And that comes back to the preparation point. Like you said, if you don't have some funds available, if you haven't been thinking about this, if you haven't been educating yourself, especially on crypto side, like just education is such a big lack of missed opportunity. Like some people just they don't know about it. They're not
Mm-hmm.
educated. They never heard of this stuff. So when they do hear about it, it goes over their head or they just brush it off because it's not something that they're familiar with.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And so and so now you look at where we're at because we're talking about opportunity, where we're at with cryptocurrency. This is pretty much going to be your last warning that you're going to be able to get before things get really fucking juicy. Where you have to understand that this bull run is imminent and it's happening, right? So Bitcoin's now crossed $68,000 this morning. The Asians are bidding, right? The Asians are bidding. They love their crypto. And so you got to start positioning yourself right now so that what happens over the next couple of months doesn't leave you in the dust. I've seen way too many 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 year olds become rich off of crypto just because they were at the right place at the right time. Okay? This past weekend, I was talking about it on the Market Professionals live stream. I hit a now it's at I effectively hit 150x play this past weekend, right? On crypto. Now, that's just a luck type of thing. That's not going to be every single play, but because we're in the trenches every single day, investing, looking at coins, part of a network, part of a private Discord of people who are actually putting out plays, scanning the market, looking at things that you can't see necessarily at all parts of the day, we're able to hit opportunities where you can turn
Yep.
$1,000 into $150,000. So that's no joke. I'm talking about people printed salaries over a weekend just because they knew what was going on in the market and they were able to hit a play earlier than everybody else. So you have to start positioning yourself right now and understand, what do I got to be in right now so that by the time next year comes around, Q1, April, March, you're up 10, 15, 20x on your portfolio. You got $1,000, you still ended with 20 grand by the end of the bull run. So if you want to touch upon a couple of things with crypto, because I know we want to go over a couple of tickers that I know some guys are looking at in terms of AI tickers.
Yeah. So I guess just starting off in terms of the bull run, I think personally it's been started for a couple days now. If you look at the market cap of everything, or maybe over the past 7 days, everything is up significantly. So I think this is not only the start, but it's going to, I have the chart up here. I think, yeah, the last 7 days, or the last 5, 6 days, it's really started to kick off,
Mm-hmm.
up over 10% total, the whole market itself. So it's here. If you're not in, it's like Pramo said, this is the last call, all aboard, or you're gonna miss the train
Right.
situation.
Right.
But in
We're on
terms
the
of what
Polar
Pramo,
Express.
yeah, in terms of what Pramo was saying is hitting these big plays, is completely right. We have guys that we talk to. Pramo is in, other numerous discussion boards. I'm in numerous discussion boards, in Telegram groups, and just looking at what's going on in the markets day to day. It has to almost become your obsession. If you see these guys on the internet that are bragging about hundreds of millions to millions of dollars in crypto, it's
Mm-hmm.
not because they're smarter than you. It's not because they've developed this crypto technology and they're some super geniuses. It's no, because they probably have friends that got involved early who have
Mm-hmm.
great knowledge and that they are giving them knowledge, and now they have a network of these crypto gurus who are knowing when these plays are going to pop off, and they're getting in early and they're preparing for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the normies get in at the top, they are just dumping everything and they're making all the money off of your liquidation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really want to be successful in this, I think, it's a healthy obsession to just learn the coins, learn what's out there because one, there's so many, and two, there's so many different technologies involved with this. Like we'll talk about some AI coins coming up here soon. We'll talk about the layer one, layer two, all different stuff that goes into a crypto, staking, APY, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much money to be made, and all it takes is a simple education of yourself. Sit down for 3, 4 days, read about it, read what you should be investing in as a beginner. Go to Coinbase and you could buy Ethereum, you could buy Solana, you could buy Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you really want to start picking up a notch, you start putting money into it. You get yourself a wallet and you go hard. And I think a healthy obsession will take you a long way in this industry because if you think about the financial markets of the past, Wall Street. Think about Wall Street in the 1990s and the early 2000s when the dot-com bubble came. They were investing in so many different websites, new companies, Google, Microsoft, da 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 da. You could like the list goes on and on of all the crazy companies that are out there now just with a www dot website name dot
Mm-hmm.
com, right? Think about that. That's what we talk about now. This is bigger than that. This is a financial institution, a market that is completely new over the past 10 years and it's ever changing. Now you see AI coins and you see meme coins and people are putting their own spin on different things. So for you to not want to get involved in this is just naive to me because one, you're either scared. Scared money doesn't make money. We learned that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that one. So I just think it's a great opportunity and it starts with you educating yourself. I could sit up here and talk all day, but it's not going to do anything unless you educate yourself.
Right. And that's the whole point of the Taylor's Code and why we have that platform is so that you can learn everything that we learned in the classroom in the Taylor's Code. There's literally a free crypto course where you can learn everything about all the basics with cryptocurrency so you can at least have a wallet, put money into the markets, figure out how to buy stuff, figure out how blockchains work, figure out what a liquidity pool is, figure out what are these different protocols in order to be able to make money. Everything is in there for free, for free. It is
Hmm.
quite literally just you deciding whether or not you want to educate yourself. And the point that you made about, these people who are becoming multimillionaires off of crypto aren't better than you. That is so true. And people need to get that out of their heads. They think because somebody else did it at a very high level that they're incapable of doing what they're doing. I've never thought that way. Right. Well, maybe when I was younger, I probably did actually. But at least in the last couple of years, when I completely revolutionized my mindset and the way that I think about things, there's not a human being on earth that I look at and I say, oh, I can't do what he can do. So he breathes air. He breathes the same air that I breathe, right? So then, yeah, whatever he's doing, then I can clearly do as well. That's the way that I look at it because it's something that's already been done.
And he probably doesn't have a crypto manual that says buy this, sell here.
Mm-hmm.
He's just going about what he sees on his computer screen, just like we do.
Yeah, exactly. And the only guys that I can give that I could say, okay, well, he's doing something incredible is a guy like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is doing things that nobody's ever done before, and he still believes he can do those things. So how are you as a human going to look at people who have already done things so it's for sure possible, but you're going to tell yourself you can't do it? Bro, Elon Musk is doing something that human beings have never done before, and he still believes he can do it. So you're telling me you can't do something somebody else has done already? So anyways, it all comes down to education. The only reason that anybody can do better than you in a certain area is just because they have more time and energy invested into it. So as soon as you learn that if somebody else did it, then you can do it, the better that your life is going to be and the more competitive you become. And that's the mindset that me and Bobby took with crypto is, well, we see all these people making money. Clearly there's a way to make money here. Let's learn it. Let's be more competitive than that. I know what my work ethic is like. Bobby knows what his work ethic is like. If we decide to become competent and be professionals in this industry, guess what? We're going to be professionals and we're going to be competitive in this industry. What happened? We're competitive in the industry and we're making money. So newsflash, it shit works. You just have to educate yourself. Nobody wants to educate past their high school education anymore, past their college education anymore. Everybody thinks that as soon as you get out of high school and as soon as you get out of college, education just stops. No.
I gotta go to work. Gotta go work 40 hours a week.
Yep. Yeah, they go do their 40 hours a week and then they stop. Then everything else after that is on the couch, TV, smoking reefer, getting drunk, whatever. Chilling. If they're not at work, they're not working. So then how are you going to escape? You're never going to educate yourself outside of work hours. You think at 22 years old after college, your education just stops. All me and Bobby do all day, every single day, is work and educate ourselves. This is why we're competent in so many different realms, because we just learn this shit. You're allowed to keep learning things, right? Knowledge is power. So, yeah, go ahead.
One last thing before you jump into some charts or whatever you wanted to look at. I just wanted to give people kind of my long-term perspective on why I believe in crypto and why and how I see myself using it in the future. So obviously the goal is to, work as least as possible and make the maximum amount of money, right? That is like the ultimate human life goal. Work a lot, not work a lot, make a lot of money, right? You see people do this with big corporations. They hold stock that goes berserk and then they can retire and then they live off of the stock. They just cash it out, 20,000 a month, whatever, how much they got to spare, right? With crypto, we could get to a point where we make so much money in crypto that we don't have to work anymore and that the crypto will increase in value over each year over year from a mathematics percentage. It'll just keep going up, 5% a year, 10% a year, and it'll just make us money once you get to a certain threshold of, say, $1 million. You make 10% of $1 million, it's $100,000. So crypto has the potential for you to accumulate enough assets that it's going to be able to pay you for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the ultimate goal for me is I want to be on the golf course. I want to be hitting balls, checking my crypto portfolio. Oh, I'm up $10,000 since I got to the golf course, right? I want to go buy a new car while I'm driving around my new car, my crypto is going up, I want to be at the beach while I'm checking my crypto portfolio, it's going up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the ultimate goal. Obviously, you're going to have ups and downs in the market, but if you work everything out correctly, and my vision is I accumulate so much that I could just start cashing out, and it's not even going to affect my life because for how I built my life, my expenses aren't that high. I have a place to live, I get food and all this other stuff and a car and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much that I have to spend money on.
Right.
So if I could get my assets to start working where I get a passive income from crypto that's way more than my expenses, that's how I know that I've made it in life. And that is my goal of what I'm trying to build with crypto.
Mm-hmm. And what you were just talking about in terms of making a passive income off of the money that you have invested, this is how the rich get richer. If you just have a larger sum of money, you can take less risky investments and still make a ridiculous amount of money comparatively to the regular person in the world, right? So one of the investment strategies that we have is there are different protocols that are going to give you a 15 to 20%, we'll call it about 20% APY on your money whenever you have it staked. So there are different protocols where you stake your stable coins and you're literally earning 20% per year on average on your stable coin. So think about this. People will put their money into a high yield savings account that'll pay you about 4%, 4.5% just because of the recent interest rates being hiked on your money for saving your money with that bank, right? 4%, 4.5%, people are, oh yeah, that's pretty good. If you put it into the S&P 500, right? You put it into a 401k. People are happy with a 10% return on average per year. 10% on my money every year. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. In crypto, just on a stable coin, an asset that won't depreciate nor appreciate. It's a stable coin. It's a peg to a fiat currency, the US dollar. You literally stake $1 million of US dollars, you're going to get 20% on your money. If you stake $1 million, it's $16,000, $17,000 per month passive. So think about that. You could just make $1 million in crypto and you're retired. If that's your goal, make 1 mil, retire, you're done. All you do is just set your money into that staking account. Every single month you get paid out your 17 grand, cash yourself out, you got your 17K for the month.
And that's what freedom looks like. Because once you have that, then it's okay. I could actually build this other business I've been dreaming about building my entire life. Whether that's a clothing brand, whatever it is. Now you have passive income coming in from the crypto that you worked hard to get. It's making you money. You have freedom. You're not constricted to a job now. You could go out. You could connect with people during the day. That is what complete freedom looks like. And now you could take your work to a whole different level because one, you're not crunched for time. You have the creative flexibility to go out and, I don't know, if you want to journal in the park, if that gets you creative, whatever you do. Now you have the opportunity to do those types of things.
100%. That's the goal. I mean, and that's what we're going to work towards. By the end of this bull run, that's exactly what it is that we're going to be doing is having all those, after we got the multiple X's to come through on our investments. Once it's time to go ahead and move into stable coins, once the bull run is over and we want to go ahead and take all of our profits, we just park that bitch into a staking account, 20% APY, and we just print money for the next year during the bear market. So let me show. So what we're going to do now is Bobby and I, we're going to look at a couple of tickers for AI tokens in crypto. Because, again, you have to stay ahead of the curve. Every cycle has its own narrative, has its own section of the crypto market that really pops off. This cycle is the meme coin cycle and the AI cycle. AI meme coins are actually absolutely destroying it this cycle. So people are literally having ChatGPT and other AI programs write the code for meme coins that are getting launched and being fully run by AI and going to billion-dollar valuations. One of them being Turbo. Turbo was launched about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I bought Turbo at about an $80 million market cap. Turbo right now is at an $800 million market cap valuation, a 10x I already made off of that AI token. Another one that just dropped, Goatsus Maximus. Some people probably saw this. Dropped on Friday. From Friday until now, Wednesday, Goatsus is at a $250 million market cap evaluation. It's a token that's completely run by AI. The Telegram is ran by AI. The Twitter accounts ran by AI. The token itself was written by AI. Completely autonomous, which is sick. So people are loving the AI narrative, obviously. So there's also a few tickers that are actual AI, let's call it, use case tokens. So these are tokens that are actually, supposed to provide some type of use in terms of its functionality, that are AI tickers. So I want to go over a few with Bobby just so we have something positioned in that sector of the market. And let me do a little, what would be the best way to do this?
Just share it on Zoom.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let me do Mr. Producer. And
So while you're doing that, I want to touch on something. If you could pull up Turbo first, I think that'd be a good place to start
yes.
because I have the chart up on my end, and some of these numbers I just saw absolutely just flabbergasted me.
Yeah.
So while Prama pulls that up, just looking at the markets here, and he'll touch on it, and you guys will be able to see it with the chart itself.
Mm-hmm.
But the chart is absolutely incredible. So looking at it from a 7 day perspective. So Gentleman's Code episode 9 last week, right? If you looked at Turbo, I guess we could have gave it a little earlier, but no, I'm just kidding. But it's up 50% since last Wednesday morning. So that
Okay.
means if you bought Turbo last week during this episode, while you're listening to us, it'd be up 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your investment was. If you put $1,000 in, you'd be up $500. In 14 days, it's up 120%. So that means 2 episodes ago of the Gentleman's Code, if you bought Turbo, you'd be up $120. So if you bought $1,000, you'd be up $1,200. And if you bought Turbo 30 days ago, which is about 4 weeks, it's up 150%. So it's up. It's like every week it's going up 50%, 50%, 50%.
Yep.
So these are just the types of returns that we're trying to, ingrain into your guys' mind that these types of returns are insane.
Yeah, it's you're not gonna get this kind of movement in the normal stock market. Now, it goes both ways, so the volatility is gonna hit you to the downside just as hard as it's gonna hit you to the upside. The game is just, well, don't buy the top and don't don't sell the bottom, right? Do the opposite. You buy the bottom whenever everybody doesn't want it, and then you sell the top whenever the asset's cracking off. So let me do one more little Mr. Producer because I need to screen capture the Zoom. Let me go back to Zoom. Yes. All right, let's do it like that. And then I'm going to share my screen on Zoom. Mr. Producer. All right, advanced. I'm going to do portion of screen. Look at this. Beyond competent. Share. And then boom. Okay. That should actually be perfect. Okay. Let's see if it works. Let me see. So screen capture. Hold on, guys. Oops. See, this is. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Screen sharing. Let's do this one. Okay, cool. So you should be able to see, Bobby,
I
my
see it.
trading view, right?
Yep, I got it. Looks good.
Perfect. Okay, let me make sure on the stream they can see this. Perfect. All right, they can see it. All right, so Turbo is the first AI ticker. So if we go to this right here, let's go to meme coins real quick. And yeah, like you were saying, so Turbo right now is at 779. So it actually dipped a bit. So if anybody's looking to buy it, you're probably looking at a good spot to buy here. So the thing with Turbo is, yeah, it's an AI coin. So the story is a guy basically was on Twitter one day, asked his followers, "Hey, should I make a cryptocurrency made by AI?" And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." So he literally went to ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT to make a viral meme coin, basically. So there's a whole video he made on it on YouTube. It's pretty cool, and that's actually the first reason I bought Turbo in the first place. Is I had nothing to do with it. Nobody told me about it. Nobody told me to buy it. I just literally saw this guy's video, thought it was pretty cool. I said, all right, you know what? Let me throw, grand into this, 2 grand into this, see what happens. Next thing you know, shit was a ripper. So back in May, whenever I was buying it, Turbo was down in here, right? And one of the first coins I bought almost immediately mooned up to about 650 million market cap. Okay. So then what you saw over the summertime is Turbo retraced a lot of that pump and basically came back into these zones, which were great buying opportunities for people to be buying in and actually accumulating their bags. Excuse me. And so by the time that we got to Q4 again, and we're now in October, we're now going to start pumping our faces off through Q4. Turbo then went and pumped again to its previous all-time high. So you guys see this. I had this line drawn from before. So this was the previous all-time high, right? That line. As soon as Turbo made this move right here, that's whenever, if you weren't allocated, you should have been looking to allocate ASAP, right? So in this region right here. So you see Turbo start to break out. You see it to start test its previous highs. As soon as that happens, bang, you buy in, you get yourself a nice little bag, and then you just rode this bitch up into price discovery. So now Turbo's in price discovery. Move this. So now that Turbo's in price discovery, you want to be able to put yourself in a position where when there is a pullback, which we did get a little pullback over the last day or two, right? So we got this little pullback, this daily candle. It's probably going to pull back if we don't get a really big pump out of Ethereum. Here's the thing with Ethereum, guys. At this point in the market, you don't necessarily want to wait for the perfect entry at the previous support line, which would be the previous all-time high. So in theory, you would say, all right, if I want to get an entry into Turbo, I would wait for this to retest the support where we just broke out of from the previous all-time high, test this, and then show that it's still pumping in the upwards direction. Then you say, okay, cool. We're in support now. Caught the bottom. Let me buy a big bag here as much as I can, and then we should shoot higher. Now, the only problem with waiting for that kind of entry in this type of environment is that if Ethereum starts pumping its face off, which it could any day now, this is not ever getting retested again anytime soon. So it's just you're waiting for an entry that's not going to happen. So you may want to start allocating really right now, honestly. And I would not fully deploy into it right now. So, if you have $5,000, I would say, buy $1,000 now, wait till tomorrow, buy another $1,000, see where it's at, wait till the next day. If it starts pumping, then I would just throw the rest in. But little by little, start putting money into this. So if it does keep coming down towards the support line, you're catching more, you're able to DCA towards that support line.
Yeah, so I think that's a good point to talk about for people who don't understand the DCA or your dollar cost averaging. All you're doing is you're trying to get the best price for the asset. It's pretty much what it comes down to. So like you see this is that almost all-time high, right? It touched all-time highs yesterday, I guess. And then it did the pullback retrace. So buying into this position right here might be a little tough, like Priamo just discussed, because it's kind of uncertain on if it's going to retrace back down below that the previous all-time high or if it's going to keep pumping. So doing a dollar cost average of your coins is the best way to mitigate your risk. So if you want to, so you want to call this 1.1 cent, right? So it's at 1.1 cent
Mm-hmm.
right now. It's very possible that it could go down to 1 cent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, the next day, right? But then it could go back up. So if you do want to start dollar cost averaging right now, is you'll buy this for 1.1 cent USD tether, right? Right now. But then if it does drop tomorrow, you buy some more and you get cheaper. So now your dollar cost is about 1.05, so
Mm-hmm.
it's getting cheaper, and then you buy your final batch at 1 cent. So now if you waited to buy majority of your bag at 1 cent, now you have the cheapest possible entry point if it goes back up.
Mm-hmm.
So so kind of where your cursor is, Saturday, September 12th or 11th maybe is a good example. See how that pumped up and then it
Uh-huh.
had two days of retracel
Mm-hmm.
and then boom back up. So even if you did buy at the top of there, the retrace, like where it retraced, you bought there and then you bought the next day, you got it a little cheaper. Now look, it's all it all, is in the past anyway, and you're way up on it. So that's the importance of dollar cost averaging, is that you can mitigate your risk a little bit, mitigate your loss if it does go the wrong way, but you could also set yourself up for way more returns because you just keep buying at a cheaper price, and then when it does boom up, looks like it's up 2x from that little circle right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great strategy to use.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly. So you don't necessarily always want to top blast, but you don't also want to keep missing a pump. So when Bobby was saying literally this first, three green daily candles was happening, you should have been buying some in here. Then once you saw this next day, so these are daily candles, you see this next day, this drop, you buy there. Then the next day you see another drop, boom, you buy more. So you keep allocating. You don't want to fully deploy into an asset the second that you get into it, because if you do get pullback, you want to have the opportunity to get a better price on your position, better average
Mhm.
cost. So yeah, so Turbo is, like I was saying to Bobby before the stream, the reason I kept Turbo this entire cycle so far and I've never gotten completely out of my position is there's some downsides to holding it that people look at and they say, I don't want to touch it. I'm a little bit wary of that token and what's going to happen with it. The reason being is one of the wallets on Turbo owns a huge portion of the supply. Much, 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 much more than most investors would be comfortable with. Because when one person, one wallet owns such a large supply of a token like Turbo, if they did decide to completely unload that position and wreck the price, they could. So the creator, the guy who had the AI literally create Turbo, he has a very large portion of the supply. On paper, he probably has about, at this point, I'd surely say 80 million plus on paper of Turbo. So here's something you guys need to think about with these meme coins and these assets. On paper, he has $80 million of Turbo. The problem is, for him at least, him as an individual, is if you look at a liquidity pool for Turbo and you look at how much money is actually in the liquidity pool pooled with Turbo, there's only about let's say $4 million. So if he decided to sell his whole position, the most money he could actually get for his Turbo at this current point in time would be $4 million, even though on paper he owns 80, if that makes sense to people. So whatever liquidity there is, whatever millions of dollars are in this liquidity pool, that's actually the only amount of money that's really there. Even though on paper he owns $80 million of Turbo. But the problem is if he starts liquidating all that Turbo, he's going to wreck the price and it's going to end up being worth a lot less than that. So the last point I was going to make with that is the reason I like that, though, because I've seen the creator, I've watched his videos, he seems super genuine. He talks about not selling, he's not going to sell, he's not going to wreck the price, he just wants to keep it for everybody else, the community, to make it everybody rich, etc., whatever, right? Good guy. I don't know him personally, but that's the impression I get. What that does for the other people, though, people like myself and Bobby, is I don't hold $80 million worth of Turbo, right? I have a small enough position where if I ever wanted to completely liquidate my position, be completely fine. It wouldn't wreck the price, right? It's not millions and millions and millions of dollars. So we benefit from huge pumps on turbo because since there's so much less of a supply available and circulating, and he owns so much of that supply, that when people do show interest in turbo and they start buying it, the price is so much more reflexive because there's so much less supply. So it pumps way harder because there's less tokens on the market. So it's a huge advantage for somebody that's investing into turbo with a smaller allocation because you're going to get a harder pump on that asset.
So here's something that I've thought about when investing in some of these smaller coins that I really didn't fully understand, and it really still doesn't make sense to me. Why would some of these developers who make these coins, why do they go for the 1 day pump and dumps? It doesn't really make sense at all to do that. Because if you hold a large amount, like you're saying in Turbo here, if the developer, whoever created it, holds a large amount, like you said, it restricts the other supply. So even if you have a decent meme coin, let's say it's just a normal meme coin, and it's only sitting at like $100,000 market cap, and then you sell it all to get that 100,000 or get $50,000, why wouldn't you just hold it to see what it could possibly be as opposed to just dumping it at 100K market cap when it crashes? Why it doesn't make sense to me why these developers always sell. Why
Right.
wouldn't you want to hold it? Because what I've noticed is that meme coins that are around longer than a week or 2 weeks always go up. They always, because people trust it now and that nobody has sold it and nobody has crashed it, that they always kind of regain traction and they head back up. So it just never made sense to me why these developers create these coins, pump them up 1 day and then ditch them and then they're on to the next coin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why they don't stay in the investment that they already have and ride it out and just put a little bit more work in over a couple weeks and they could have so much more money. It just that never made sense to me, that part, and why they do that.
So that's such a great point because I do think about that too, and why wouldn't they just ride this thing out? So, a couple different things. So I just got an allocation from a meme coin that launched 2 days ago. At this point, was it two? No, it was yesterday. Launched yesterday. No, it did launch 2 days ago. I got my allocation yesterday. So what I had done is I knew somebody that obviously knows people who launches these projects, and I'd given them money beforehand to have an allocation to this project before it actually dropped. So I had $5,000 worth. So what these people do who create these meme coins and they make these launches and they try to rug pull people and they try to rob people's money is when you launch a meme coin, you have to provide a liquidity pool for people to be able to trade that asset, right? So a liquidity pool is whenever you pool an asset with another asset. So whenever people swap one asset from the other, it fluctuates the price and it go ahead and gives you a price for that asset. So somebody launches Turbo. When they launched Turbo, they had to pool Ethereum with Turbo in that liquidity pool. So somebody has to put up that Ethereum. Somebody has to put up that money for people to be able to trade it. So what they do is when they launch these tokens, they're going to provide a liquidity pool with $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 worth of liquidity. So what they do is they'll allocate themselves a large portion of the supply of that meme coin. They launch it. They let other people buy and trade that asset and put their money into that LP. And effectively what they do is once they've seen enough money get put into that LP, enough transactions happening, the asset goes up. And I disagree with it. You shouldn't do it. But the reason they do it is these creators for these meme coins, they'll also crowdfund basically the liquidity for this liquidity pool. So what they'll do is they'll offer people before they launch a percentage of the supply, right, for X amount of dollars. So they'll literally raise money. So it's like an IPO if you get in on an IPO before it IPOs. So I come to Bobby and I say, hey, Bobby, I'm going to launch this new meme coin. It's going to be fucking sick. You're going to make a shit ton of money. You're going to get rich. Just give me 10 grand. Give me 10 grand up front. And then I'm going to give you a certain amount of this allocation, which is going to be worth a lot more, obviously, whenever it launches. So a lot of times liquidity and the liquidity pool isn't even their money in the first place. They're actually just literally crowdfunding money from other people who are hoping that that project's going to grow. They launch the token, the asset. That liquidity pool is largely not even their own money. So then now they have all this money on paper on their coin that they just launched, and then they just fucking sell it to just steal all the money from the liquidity pool. if that makes sense. So that's how they make the money, is they basically just steal the liquidity from the liquidity pool.
Yeah, no, it definitely makes sense of what they're doing, but I mean, one from an ethics perspective, it's not. I don't like that. Number two, it does. If you look at the long term, for what we talk about with crypto, the long term gains and the long term returns you could get, it doesn't make sense to me to sell those assets some of the way they do. I know they probably put a lot of work in terms of like Twitter posts and all this stuff and crowdfunding, like you said. So when they do see that initial 50x, they're like, all right, let's just get our money and go. But it's just long term, it's like for them, I think they can make more money if they just held it out and, they built a community around it.
Yeah, they would make more money long term, but of course, it's a lot more difficult to do that. To get
Hmm.
a meme coin to stick, build a community around it, and get that price to actually pump, very difficult. It is very difficult because it's you have to think about how many thousands of meme coins that get dropped every single day, and how few of them actually make it over $100 million market cap. It's difficult. So for them, a lot of them, for them, it's just rinse and repeat. They'd rather just rob people, launch a coin every once in a while,
It's
hype it up.
guaranteed returns.
For them, it's guaranteed money. And I agree. Ethically, I disagree with it. I think it's stupid. I don't understand why people, I do understand why people do it. I get it. It makes money. So obviously that's why they're going to
Hmm.
do it. It's
Yeah.
just, yeah, it's just cheapskate way to make money. But it works. People do it and they get rich off of that. So it's just another hustle within cryptocurrency. You just got to be careful as an investor, somebody who's getting to the market, that you're not walking onto these landmines. Like I got that allocation yesterday. I just got a extra $5,000 into my Solana wallet out of nowhere. Money found. I put that money up early this year, maybe even end of last year. I put that money up, and the project finally dropped. I got an extra $5,000 into my Solana wallet. What did I do? Instantly liquidated the meme coin. Got $5,000 of Solana, and I started a new wallet that I'm building. Just this one separate wallet. I want to see how high I can build it up to. I don't know if it'll show it on the screen on the stream. It probably wouldn't. But yeah, then I just put that $5,000 into a Solana wallet and just bought a couple other things with it, and I'm going to build that wallet up. So that's what people do with the coins. Now, in terms of the actual other AI fundamental plays, I do want to show you that, Bobby,
Yeah.
and just so you have a couple that I'm going to look into too. So you should be able to see the Discord, but I'm pretty sure the stream should not be able to. Okay, so you can see the Discord, right?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So this guy, he has the fire AI plays. So he has explanations in here that I'll walk through with you real quick, and then we can look at a couple of the tickers. Let's see. So what's the date on these? Okay.
Yesterday.
Another low cap AI token. Oh, here we go. So here's one, right? So PAAL is the ticker. Here's the contract address. I'll put this in the chat for you. No, I want to zoom. Okay, I put the contract address in there for you. Okay, good. So the ticker is PAAL. So let me pull that up on TradingView for the people on the stream. And then we'll go through it real quick. Look at that. That's a good looking chart.
Mm-hmm.
That'll pump. Yeah, Jackus knows what the fuck he's doing. Yeah, beautiful. That's a pumper. So let me pull back up the Discord. All right, so he wrote here a couple different things. So PAAL, one of the very few which did not sweep the 2023 lows. Even Tau has another low cap AI token with a $177 million market cap. So beautiful, a lot of upside return potential. Very clean levels, also broken the downtrend from March with an impulsive move. Currently been doing a retrace since then. Rebalanced into a higher time frame, bottoming demand once again. Showed strong buyback there and is currently breaking even the smaller local downtrend. It really begins from here, in my opinion, so better get quick. He posted this yesterday, 2 days ago. Flipping then point 0.3 is detrimental for a full bottom confirmation before the real parabola in crypto begins. So here's a chart he had. So he's saying point 0.3 is that line that once it breaks past point 0.3, it should be a banger. So let's look at trading view. Yeah, still below the point 0.3, so it's still a good time to buy. So that's one.
Yeah, I
body.
agree. I mean, if you look at the upside from the last bull run, or not even last bull run, I guess in February, that is, yeah, so the beginning of this year had a huge pump up to almost $1, about 70, 79 cents, 86 cents was the high. So yeah, and then it came back down, consolidating, and yeah, it's gonna rip up here for part two. Because how old is this? This is fairly new.
I
Yeah, about a year
see.
old.
Yeah, exactly. About a year old. So that's a new AI play. So that one should be a banger because he's super, super, super competent. So he's putting a position in that. I know it's going to perform. It's going to do something. So let's see what other ones he had because he had multiple AI plays that he likes. Okay, so AI, artificial intelligence. If there's one sector that crypto can produce fundamentally while also riding the next TradFi wave of adoption, then it's surely AI. Just like the internet, AI is the next effectively growth, in my opinion. Oh, effectivity growth, in my opinion. Obviously, obviously AI is just a buzzword, but the solutions are not. Okay, here we go. So here are his tickers. So from lower market cap ones with outside potential returns, I'm currently betting on these. So he has Arkham, AI Tech, PAL, and Based AI. So I'll send you the tickers for all these.
Yeah, yeah, send me those.
Yep. All right. So these will be nice because I'll actually look into these too, Bobby, and I'll allocate to some of these as well because I have not.
So in terms of actually buying these coins too, like so these companies that are doing it are just making a coin, and is that how they're taking up investments? So pretty much like, just how a company does stock and they do rounds of stock seeding, you could buy stock before it goes public and stuff. That's what these AI companies are doing in terms
Exactly.
of just being able to IPO their company instead of the traditional way, going through the SEC, going through all the guidance, accounting perspective. You need to have your numbers in a bunch. So these companies are taking the strategy of developing a coin and kind of taking that as investments.
Exactly. Correct. So yeah, just like a company IPOing, the company is going to go public. Why? Because they need to secure funding to be able to continue to do the projects that they're doing. So it's the same thing with crypto, right? So these guys do these seed rounds. It's called seed round investments. And they do these seed rounds where they offer an allocation to their token at a certain evaluation before it goes public. These guys get in at the seed round number. The protocol raises a bunch of money for selling off these tokens, and then that's exactly how they fund their project. 100%. It's just to be able to raise funds for their project. And the idea is, why would investors buy these seed round tokens? Well, they're speculating that this protocol is going to be fantastic. It's going to do well long term. So I'd rather buy this asset before it goes public at a much greater discount. Once it goes public, starts trading with the public, yeah, I'm going to be able to dump some of that and make a huge profit.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's exactly how they do funding.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into those. For people that want a tool to look into crypto, Ramo showed me the CoinGecko, one of my favorite sites now. They give you such great information in terms of just, the the behind the scenes of the coin, why it
Mm-hmm.
even exists, and of course all the market analysis that comes with that. But CoinGecko is where I'll be doing some research on these for sure.
Yeah, 100%. So those will be good plays. Let's see what else we got here. Beautiful retest at the previous high. I'm looking at a couple other ones. So just so you know, Bobby, as well, what I'm invested in right now in Solana in terms of actual real positions long term. So let me share my screen so you can see it. I'll just give you these real quick because this is what I'm positioned in. Can you see this?
Hmm.
Okay. So my about 150 to $200 million market cap tokens that I have right now that are going to be my Solana bets that I'm going to be my core positions are going to be Retardio, which I fuck with Retardio. It's a good meme.
It
Um,
is. Looks like it's hitting support there on the all-time high perfectly. Look at that.
exactly. So I bought it. Perfect buy. I bought it yesterday, literally somewhere in here, right? Right. Basically caught the bottom of it. I bought some yesterday. Boom, we're green on the day. So Retardio is a fantastic play. Flog is the other one that's really good. It's looking like it's curling up, getting ready to do its next leg up, right? So Flog is a good buy right now too, I would say. Okay. So I have Retardio, I have Flog, I have Giga Chad as a larger cap.
Giga Chan.
Yeah. So Giga Chad looks like it's you know doing a bit of ranging, pulling back a bit. So I have Giga Chad, and then my fourth position is going to be the fucking Ripper itself, the ultimate meme coin of meme coins, the AI coin, Goat Seuss Maximus, which is obviously ripped fucking face. I don't understand why it looks like such a goofy ass ticker. So those are my core soul positions: Goat Seuss, Retardio, Flog, and Giga Chad.
Giga Chad.
Yeah, I mean, look at Goat Seuss. This shit's just literally all fucking
Just
just
green.
it's just green. Yeah, I mean,
Just green.
what do you want? What do you want? It's just up only.
Can I see the Retardia chat again?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just want to
yeah.
make sure I'm looking at the same thing on my end.
I can show you on this one right here. You're looking on
Yeah. Gecko, yeah.
so this is Retardio on the 1 hour. But yeah, here it is right here. So it is $150 million market cap right now. So that's still relatively low cap. I mean, if this thing really
Hmm.
catches fire, that shit will pop up to 500 mil minimum, right? So if you're looking at a couple X's right there, I would say. So yeah, Retardio. I like Retardio. I like that one personally. I just kind of like the meme as well. And then yeah, Retardio, Giga Chad, Flog, and Goat Seuss Maximus. Let's see if we can get a good chart for Goat Seuss on here. Yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, I mean Goat
All kind of
Seuss
hitting that same little retrace over the past couple days. Well, I guess this is the hour chart, so this one's a little different. But yeah, they're all kind of
retracing a
similar.
bit.
And
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with Bitcoin over this next day or two to see if they keep sending it higher or if they're going to retrace it a bit. So I do have Solana on hand just to see what happens the next couple of days because I do want to buy some more Goat Seuss. I do want to buy some more Retardio, some more Flog, but I just want to make sure I'm catching it at the right time. I don't want to buy it high right now and then it retraces
yeah,
further. I could have gotten a lower position, so I'll probably clip into all of them a little bit today. See where we're at tomorrow. Clip in some more if I have to. But then if we just start sending again and we start sending, hey, I'm not upset. I'll just blast. I'll blast in my positions then and I'll just try to catch the pump up. So, but those are the ones that I'm holding right now on Soul.
yeah, definitely. Take a little more analysis on the Goat's Juice Maximus because it looks like that one still's got a little ways to come down, in my opinion. But
Mm-hmm.
the Retardio looks like it hit that support nicely.
Yep.
So that one's a little better in terms of entry.
Yep. Yeah, no, I agree. If there's anything that is a buy right now at this second, yeah, it's Retardio. This would be the best one to enter at this moment. Yes. The problem with Goat Seuss is that it's ripped so hard, so many days in a row. It's awkward to try to hit a pullback because you don't know if you just fucking bought the top and it's just gonna dump down
Hmm.
100 mil, you know. So I've just been
Yeah.
taking out profits slowly but surely as we pump up and then come back down, just taking profits, profits, profits. But yeah, this shit's retarded. It should be a pumper. Yep, beauty. Cool. Well,
All right. Well,
outside
lots
of
of work
that,
to do.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, just lots of work to do. Do some more analysis. So I'm gonna do some research on these AI coins today. I got some USD coins sitting in Coinbase, ready to be unloaded.
Nice.
So just gonna start, I think diversification is super important because one, you're spreading over your compound interest return over more coins, which in terms gives you a better chance to hit higher returns if you have everything in one coin, even if that one coin does good and it does 100%, if you had that coin plus another 10 coins, I think I might be lagging a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
um, you just kind of spread the risk. You're not going all in on one coin that's gonna either go down 50%, lose half your money, or go up 100%. So just being able to spread your money is super important in terms of risk, making sure that because even if it goes up so much, you're gonna make money. You're gonna make so much money if you have all your plays in the right place. Especially when you're talking about these AI coins that actually have, technology behind them and stuff like that. People
Mm-hmm.
actually like seeing that real world aspect as opposed to just a meme coin that's just going to rip and then go back down with no real value. So it's important to, just hedge your bets. If you're going to, invest in a couple meme coin poppers, make sure you're allocated properly so you don't just lose all your money.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to be going all in on the shitters. You might you hit a lottery play every once in a while, but you definitely do not want to be investing money that you can't afford to lose, especially in the shitters. $100 million market cap and above, established token, been around for many months, been around for many years. You should be all right. But outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, I mean that's the show. We gave you guys some fucking fire today.
Hmm.
Everything, crypto, mindset, positioning, the way to operate as an individual in day-to-day life. I mean, what else can you fucking ask for? Now you just got to actually go ahead and do this shit. Who's going to do it?
Preparing. Having a game plan for what you're going to do is
Mm-hmm.
super important, no matter what you're doing. If you're just going to cut grass and be a lawn mower guy, like have a plan of how you're going to do that. If you're doing crypto, have a plan. We talk to you through our plan of what we want to do, the future of what we're doing. No matter what you're doing, you got to have a plan, or you're not going to have goals that you're going to hit. You're not going to know what you're doing on the day to day. So have a plan, have goals of how you're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than
Visions.
that, that's all I got.
Vision's clear, baby. If you're not already inside of the Taylor's Code, once again, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It is no cost right now for a limited time because we're trying to go ahead and grow the network to this next leg of expansion that we're going to start doing with some new professors and some new things that we're going to start offering. If you're not inside the Taylor's Code, it is literally a no-brainer, no cost. Why would you not be inside is the question you need to ask yourself. 2, inside of the Taylor's Code, go to the classroom section and educate yourself with the resources that we have in there. Bobby made a form, basically a class all about Bitcoin. There's a no-cost cryptocurrency class in there that's literally going to teach you everything you need to know to be able to start investing into the markets. There's private crypto plays in there where we literally give you the plays before that we put them out into the public so then you can catch the big pumps that we're catching on these tokens. That's inside there. There's sales mentorship that I offer. Bobby does e-commerce. We're talking building incomes, putting yourself in positions to actually generate money to be able to invest in these markets with a significant sum of money. Everything you need to actually get out of the situation that you're in right now is available inside. So do something about it. Actually become a part of the network. Put yourself in a position to change your life and see what happens. What do you have to lose? Nothing. So I'm good to go, Bobby. Other than that, fucking banger.